Trust is a fundamental necessity in any kind of relationship, be it friendship, romantic involvement, or within family ties. Therefore, in this video, we will discuss the 10 characteristics of individuals you should never trust, according to Stoic philosophy. However, determining this is relatively straightforward. Simply analyzing a person's words and actions can give you an idea of who they are and what they stand for. I'll clarify this by commenting on each of these individuals and explaining why you shouldn't trust them. Before we start, please make sure to check your subscription to the channel, because in the end, I have something special for you. And as always, stay strong until the end. Now let's move on to the first type of individual. 1. Narcissists. Dealing with narcissistic individuals, Stoics remind us of the importance of not letting the behavior of others affect our inner peace. Consider remaining indifferent to their self-centered actions amidst their arrogance to maintain our mental tranquility. If someone is always talking about themselves and shows little concern for others, that person is not someone you can easily trust. Their focus is solely on themselves, constantly prioritizing their own needs, regardless of who they are. You can't trust narcissistic individuals because they elevate their image as if it's the most important thing in the world. They don't want to be better or equal, but instead elevate their image at all costs. They are the kind of people who would do anything to enhance their image. And this compulsive self-admiration and self-desire is extremely dangerous. It's impossible to know what such a person might do to maintain the desired image. Typically, they are individuals who shift blame for their own mistakes onto others. Therefore, don't trust those who excessively talk about themselves and try to impose their own opinions without listening to anyone else, as these individuals can harm you at any moment to achieve their goals. 2. People who constantly make you angry. When dealing with irritable or manipulative individuals, Stoicism offers a practice of self-reflection. Instead of emotionally reacting, we can pause and consider how our perceptions and reactions influence the situation. If you're going through a tough time in your life and find yourself losing patience with someone easily, it might not be because of that person, but due to the daily stress you're experiencing. That's one scenario. However, when you consistently get angry around a specific person, that's an entirely different situation. If that person has the ability to constantly provoke you, it's because they throw confusing ideas at you, cleverly incite you, and gradually feed your doubts in small doses. Understanding their emotional and psychological games can be difficult. There are people who act this way just for the pleasure of it. Hence, be cautious of these subtle little games. Because if a person can constantly make you angry and you don't even notice it, that's concerning. 3. Indecisive people. When it comes to indecisive people, Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, our own decisions and actions. It's easy to explain why these individuals are not trustworthy. How can you trust someone who is constantly hesitant about making a decision? If they can't even determine a direction in their lives, how can you trust them? Moreover, they are entirely unpredictable because their personalities haven't fully formed, so you can't know for sure what their decisions will be. Indecisive individuals lack the strength of character to take action and choose the path they want to follow. Frankly, trusting an indecisive person is like trusting a child with a knife. You don't know what they'll do when you're not around. 4. Hypocritical people. Stoicism advises caution when dealing with hypocritical individuals, encouraging us to focus on developing virtue within ourselves rather than worrying about their actions. You've probably had an experience like this: those who seem to like you but spread gossip about you behind your back. And this behavior spreads to others. Therefore, don't be surprised when others speak poorly of you. One moment they're smiling and acting friendly, the next they're speaking negatively about you. My advice would be to notice such behavior and exit the relationship as swiftly as possible. 5. Overly curious people. From a Stoic perspective, setting boundaries in conversations and sharing information cautiously is important. Stoicism suggests staying away from overly curious individuals, as it can lead to the exposure of harmful information. Furthermore, this curiosity might be associated with envy. Hence, always be mindful of whom you share information with. After all, it's difficult to be certain that someone won't potentially use your information in a harmful way in the future. If someone exhibits a constant curiosity, it's best to distance yourself from them or only trust them with information after clearly stating the importance of confidentiality. What I mean by this is, when getting to know someone or having a conversation with a friend, they might occasionally inquire about a topic or ask questions about your life to get to know you better, be it your job, your studies, or your life in general. This is a normal part of conversation. However, what you should understand is that the curious individual might consistently pry into your life and sometimes delve into sensitive subjects. For instance, they might inquire about your salary, which is quite peculiar. If you decide not to answer and change the topic, they might persist in asking the same question. I'm talking about being cautious about this type of person before entrusting them. This is the kind of person I need to be careful with before giving my trust. So it's not just about not trusting such a person, but also distancing yourself if you have the opportunity. 6. People who constantly criticize others. Stoics emphasize the importance of constant self-assessment. Rather than spending time criticizing others, Stoic philosophy suggests focusing on self-improvement and character development. If someone spends their time criticizing others through gossip, slander, or attempts to damage someone's reputation, they're likely of poor character. Think about it. If someone is around constantly speaking negatively about others and gossiping, whereas you, a decent person, probably have things to do, work to focus on, and bills to pay, then you're likely not engaging in such behavior. What I mean here is that those who excessively criticize others probably have nothing better to do and are so unhappy that they feel the need to talk negatively about others. Therefore, be skeptical, don't indulge, and don't be understanding towards such individuals. Because if someone easily speaks ill of others, they might just as easily speak ill of you. If you've made it this far and trust and respect someone with some of these traits, comment below. But wait, we're not done yet. I still have 2 more types of people to show you. 7. People who always involve themselves in many problems. Stoics encourage us to take responsibility for our decisions and emotions rather than blaming luck or circumstances. These individuals live with problems and intrigues, claiming to be unlucky, viewing life as a punishment where new challenges arise every day and each day brings a new outcome. They are there, telling everyone that they don't know what's happening, describing everything as difficult. In the end, be cautious with such individuals. There's nothing wrong with being skeptical, because if a person is filled with problems, it's not a coincidence. They're not victims of a universe conspiring against them. They are individuals who sabotage themselves every day. They likely make poor decisions, don't learn from their mistakes, and probably can't control their own emotions. Therefore, I recommend being suspicious of such individuals, because if you sympathize with their sad and difficult stories to the extent of always wanting to help, their problems can quickly become yours. So, be careful, because individuals who collect obstacles and dramas like this have only one real difficulty: themselves. And I believe you wouldn't want that difficulty to be by your side. 8. People who pretend to listen to what you say. Stoicism guides us to be assertive and, if necessary, distance ourselves from enriching conversations. You know those people who respond with a simple, "Yes, I understand that's true," when you say something, trying to share an idea, and they don't respond with anything else. This can be annoying, even disrespectful. Worse is when someone pretends to know what they want, and, when it's your turn to speak, they're just pretending to listen, distracted by their phone or not really caring about what you're saying, simply agreeing but not actually listening. Let's be honest, the minimum requirement in a conversation is that the other party pays attention to what you're saying. Otherwise, it's not a conversation. So, if one day you're talking to someone and they're not paying attention to you, or worse, they start using their phone while you're talking, that clearly shows they're not listening to you. Then, stop the conversation. It's not worth talking to walls. If the person isn't attentive or just playing a role, don't waste your time. If that's the case, stand up and let them know you're leaving. You don't have to spend time with people who aren't interested in what you have to say. In short, analyzing different types of people that can undermine trust gives us valuable lessons in seeking more genuine and meaningful relationships. By embracing Stoic teachings, we learn to maintain our inner peace, develop virtue, practice authenticity, and exercise self-control in challenging situations. Anyway, that's all for today. We've reached the end of this video, and I sincerely hope these tips will be helpful to you. Remember, you're an important part of this channel. Therefore, if this video has helped you think or learn something, leave a like and a comment to help more people discover the powers of Stoic wisdom. If you're not sure what to comment, simply type, "Stay strong," to let me know you've reached the end. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, because every little step matters on your personal development journey. Keep progressing toward victory. Thank you all for your attention.